beautiful to be pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, Saturday in the shop. I've had the truck in here a few days. Working on it, shorten the dry shaft, put it in. Doing some odds and ends. Put a temp sender in it so the temperature gauge will work. Spilled some water on the floor. It's not antifreeze, don't worry. All animals and mice are safe. What else did I do? I mounted my radiator. Put my overflow and radiator puke tank in. Little man's over here playing with a calculator he found upside down, writing out hello and stuff like that. Who showed you how to do that?
You.
See, I'd learned that stuff before there was handheld Nintendos, Game Boys, and whatever else you call them things.
I don't have a Game Boy. Those are ancient.
Oh, them are old-fashioned? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, it was before even the old-fashioned stuff. I remember my dad had a calculator. You had to hold it just right so you could see the little red numbers. And it was Texas Instruments. And I think he said he paid like $150 for it. And that would have been like 1981 or something. And our surveyor, where I work, has this old calculator. It's about this big. You can't see my hands here. Let me help you. Hold that hand there. Hold that hand there. Yeah, it's about that wide. It's a mechanical calculator. I think it's called a... I forget how to pronounce it now. It's all mechanical. So you push a button, gears turn and stuff. It's pretty cool. Mashaw or something like that. It was like $1,500, he said, in the 60s, I think. Now this is going from memory. You might catch me speeding, but... Alright, enough calculator talk. My mind started wandering so bad I forgot why I turned the camera on. The reason I turned the camera on is I'm whipping up a little vacuum line for the brake booster here in the back. I think I'm going to need to change that carburetor and put the big 750 on it. I might just go ahead and do it. This thing's got a pretty rowdy cam in it, sounds like. Alright, in the course of making our vacuum line for the power brakes, there it goes. I discovered that this is 3/8 and the hose here is 1/2 inch. And while we could get a little wild and put 6 hose clamps on, clamp them down real tight and hope for the best, I just found a piece of 1/2 inch line with fancy little flare and all on it. And then I drove that red punch in there to flare it out just a scotch so that it would fit over my 3/8 line. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to weld it fast. I was watching one of One Lonely Farmer's videos the other day, and a guy was complaining, why does he keep saying he's going to make it fast? That sounds so stupid. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Weld it fast.
Just no.
It means you're going to make it right. It's together, it's tight, it's good. Forever.
I was thinking
Which is different from married fast a lot of times.
What does that mean?
So I was asking the little man here, I said, do you think I can weld this with my little torch? And you know what he said? He said that I was the best welder he knew. And then he followed it up with, but I was the only welder he knew. So I'm not sure how to take that. Is that like a backhanded compliment?
I said practically. I know a few other ones.
Oh, okay. So I went ahead and put my number 0 tip in, real small. Okay, it won't focus, you can't see it. Is 0 really a number? I suppose it is. Yeah. Why am I worrying about that? Let me go back to work. Alright, I done it. Okay. Okay, squirted a little paint on it. While we let that dry, I think I'm going to change that carburetor. I was having trouble having her idle before. Might not be enough idle circuit in a little 650 for that big can. I have a 750 right up there, so I'm gonna put that on it. If that don't work, maybe we'll put some of them on. Nah, we wouldn't do that, would we? Look at this. More about that later. Alright, little man's back there. He's fixing to jack up the back of the truck so we can pull the jack stands out and set it down. And I switched the carburetor, put my new vacuum line on back there. Don't believe it, I'm showing you. I tidied up the wiring a little bit. I wired up the electric choke on the new 750. By the way, if you don't know what kind of carburetor you got, what size it is, there's some numbers right there. Google them and you'll find out right fast what it is. Alright, well, I'm thoroughly disgusted with this piece of junk. It runs like crap. I mean, it runs bad. It's like it's got a huge vacuum leak. That's the 750 and it won't idle. If you can manage to run fast enough to get out here to catch it, keep it running at about half throttle. Put your hand there, it'll pick up and sound a little better. It's I'd show you the puddles of oil that are coming out between the timing cover and the oil pan, but I just drove it back in and covered those up, but had to push it out. So there's a little clue about the transmission. I think I'm gonna call her a day and see what I'm gonna do with this thing. I'm gonna have to think it over. Well, even though I'm disgusted with this piece of junk, how about ringing the bell, man?
Did you fix it? Oh, you finally fixed it.
Yeah, I fixed it. Don't I fix everything eventually? Alright, go to MrHeavyChevy.com, please, and buy some stickers and some t-shirts and stuff so I can afford to fix my failure here. That's the risk you take. You buy something cheap, you think you're doing okay, you're rolling the dice, and then sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I think in this case, I lost.